Hello everybody and welcome. This is Sarah Creatrix and you're listening to episode 6 of my podcast, which is all about bridging the gap between science and spirituality. So in this episode, I'm really excited to be channeling and sharing a message with you about the power of connection. Connection is our natural state of being, and when we feel disconnected, it causes us to feel unhappy, isolated, lonely, depressed, stressed, anxious. It creates wars. It creates bad relationships. It creates arguments. It creates all the suffering that we experience in our lifetime. And I am a spiritual mentor and trauma healer, and I help people move back to that connected state where they feel fully in their power. They feel confident to be their unique self, to create success for themselves, however that wants to come into their life, and build strong, divine relationships that are fully connected, where two people or more can work together in harmony in order to create the happiest and most supported life for themselves and their loved ones. And most people struggle to feel this type of connection. Most people are holding feelings of shame. So shame is the lowest vibrational form of fear. And when we experience feelings of shame, we want the ground to swallow us up. We feel really disconnected. We feel inadequate. And it really affects our worth, how we perceive ourselves. And because these feelings of shame can feel so painful to connect to, your subconscious will hide every shameful experience you've had. So we remember a lot of negative experiences, but what the subconscious does is it creates these illusions around what created that shame. It doesn't want you to feel inadequate in any way. It doesn't want your self-worth to suffer, because that's going to affect your survival need. And your subconscious is predominantly supporting your survival. And it wants you to feel confident. It wants you to feel good enough. It wants you to feel worthy of success. It wants you to feel happy and connected with other people. But the shame massively holds us back, and our physical body, our emotional body, our mental body, and our energetic body all hold memory of every shameful experience that you've had in this lifetime, in past lifetimes. So if somebody hurts us or somebody is horrible to us, the first thing that we're going to do is subconsciously feel that it's our fault. There's something wrong with us. Why can't people like us? Why can't people love us? Why can't I create a state of peace for myself? Why does everything have to be so difficult? What am I doing wrong? But then your ego likes to hide the truth behind your shame. This is what I do with a lot of my clients. So I'm going to be talking about the power of connection, how we can move back to that connected state. First, we need to understand what true connection is, because most people don't really understand what it is that they're trying to change in their life. They want to feel more connected, but what does that mean? What does it mean to be more connected to yourself? What does it mean to be more connected to other people? What does it feel like to be more connected in relationships? What does it feel like to be more connected in your career or in your business or in ways that you perceive success in your life? What is connection? I'm going to channel this message. Connection is that feeling of oneness. And this is because everything is one. It's the universe. It's one. Uni means one. Unity means being united as a whole. So it's a feeling of completeness. And when we see the world as separate, other people are separate to ourselves, everything else that is in my life is separate to me, it disconnects us from the true meaning of connection, which is that everything in your physical and non-physical reality is created by you. You are God. You are the creator of everything that you experience in your life. And it's only fear and feelings of separation that keep you separate to everything. So whatever it is that you want in your life, whether it's love or more friends or better relationships or more success, more money, more fame, more joy, more hobbies, anything that you want in your life is a part of you already. And it's only this belief system that you are separate from that stops you from being fully abundant, fully connected. When you understand that everything in your reality is an extension of you, everything is energetically connected, everything is consciously connected, and you work through all of this shame and all of these feelings of separation, then you can literally manifest anything that you want in your life. It's that simple. And it doesn't seem simple. It doesn't feel simple because you have these strong belief systems that have been passed down from generation to generation to generation that we're all separate. It's survival of the fittest. We need to focus on ourselves. We need to detach from negative people. We need to detach from negative situations. We need to chase money and success and love and happiness. When you let go of all of these belief systems of separation, that we're separate from everything in our reality, we feel complete. We feel whole. We feel one. We feel united. We become God. When we feel complete and whole, we move to our natural state, which is love. And this love is unconditional. It doesn't go away when somebody walks out of your life. It doesn't go away when you get divorced. It doesn't go away when your children leave home. It doesn't go away when you don't have the things that you want in your life. Love is something that we don't need to chase and create for ourselves. It's more about reversing all of the false programming that we're separate. But in order to feel connected, we first need to let go of our fear of other people. We need to let go of our fear of loss. We need to let go of our fear of abandonment. We need to let go of our fear that we're inadequate. And we need to remove all of the shame that is creating these belief systems. Predominantly need to just focus on letting go of the survival instinct and moving to a higher way of seeing our reality. It's evolution. We don't need to worry about our survival needs anymore because we have everything. And even if you feel like you don't have anything in your life or you don't have the things that you want, you're struggling with money or connection, whatever it is, these are just belief systems that you're creating through that fear that is tucked deep inside your subconscious. When you let go of the fear of lack, of abandonment, that you're not worthy, everything we want in our life just comes to us. We send a thought out, a fantasy, a wish, a dream, and it literally comes back to us. And this is actually what we're doing in our current reality. Every thought is creating our reality. But the only problem with thought is there's a lot of fear attached to that thought. And this is why a lot of spiritual people meditate, switch off the mind. Because when we do that, we actually let go of fear. But most people can only reach these states for short periods of time. They can only meditate for 20 minutes. They can only meditate for an hour. They can only reach these heightened states of detaching from your mind and fear. And then when we stop meditating, as soon as we start thinking again, all the fear comes back. Because every experience from our past has some form of fear attached to it, because we've had so many shameful experiences throughout our lifetime. So whenever we think I want something, your subconscious is going, hang on a sec, you're not good enough for that. Or that doesn't just come to you, or that's never happened to you before. And this is where my new healing ability is really powerful. So yes, I remove shame. Yes, I work through fear. I reprogram the subconscious. I do all the things to support and change your mindset, to feel worthy, to feel confident. But there's so much resistance to unlocking these deep, dark pockets of shame that we are desperately, subconsciously trying to escape. And there's conscious energies in your body that will literally attack anything that tries to open up these feelings of shame. As soon as you unlock something that feels shameful, you will attack other people. And this is why people are getting triggered by each other all the time. They're protecting their shame. They're protecting those feelings of inadequacy. So as soon as somebody says something negative to you, or makes you feel rejected, or criticizes you, or judges you, then it's going to trigger a feeling of shame. And this is what I work through in my trigger response healing course. But sometimes when you unlock a deep fear, what I tend to do is help my clients feel completely safe. Sometimes I'm able to release the fear or the emotion or the belief system on their behalf, but they still need to know what was causing that shame in the first place. It's really difficult to release something and heal somebody until they understand what caused it in the first place, because we're here to learn, we're here to grow, we're here to develop, and we can't change unless we know what was broken in the first place. So if we're controlled by the past, if we're controlled by shame, if we're controlled by fear, we can go into deep states of meditation, completely detached from all of those belief systems, completely detached from all of that fear, and we can see a better way, and we can use that guidance to change our future, to support our future. And this is what I do in a lot of my meditation workshops. But how about if we can create a new reality and a new experience before we've let go of that shame, before we've let go of that negative belief or that limited belief that you're so tightly holding on to? And this is what the new healing ability that I'm working on does. I go into the subconscious, and you don't even need to be detached from your thoughts in order to do this. You don't need to reach deep states of hypnosis or meditation in order to have this experience. I can send you the memory, and you will experience the memory through your consciousness, through your energetic body, through your physical body, and through your mental body. And I can show you, for example, what it feels like to be completely loved. When you have that experience, your subconscious is going to choose that feeling over the negative experience of not feeling loved. And it will really help you to let go of shame. It's absolutely amazing how this works. So somebody has a negative belief that people don't like me, I'm never going to create business success, I can't get enough clients. They feel disconnected to other people. That is what their shame is telling them. If you can't grow your following, it's purely because you feel disconnected from other people. You might feel like the odd one out. You might feel like people don't like you. You might feel like people don't get you. You might be afraid of other people. And I can show you what it feels like to be fully connected to other people. And when you feel fully connected with other people, you don't fear them, because you realize that they're all an extension of you. And when I do that, your subconscious is more likely to want to let go of the shameful feeling of I'm separate, because we've already given it a new memory. We've already shown it a new way. And this is why people struggle so hard to let go of their belief systems, because they've never experienced a different way. So people can go into meditation journeys and they can experience what it feels like to be enlightened, what it feels like to be at peace, what it feels like to be in love, what it feels like to connect to their soulmate. but it hasn't happened yet. They've only had a short experience of it. And what I do is I don't just give you a short experience of it. I change it within all four of your bodies, your energetic, your mental, your physical, and your emotional body. I give you the full experience. And in doing so, we don't need to focus on what is creating that void within your life and within your body. We don't need to pull out the shame that is causing that feeling of lack. Your subconscious will already be in that energy. It's almost like going in a time machine and experiencing the healed part of yourself. And sometimes we've all done it where we've looked back and gone, I can't believe how stupid I used to be. I can't believe how unhealed, how needy, how insecure I used to be. I can't believe I used to say and do those things. This is what I'm creating for you, a new way of looking at your reality. And when you're able to have this new experience, it's so easy to let go. Because when you've moved past an insecurity, when you look back at it, it doesn't feel shameful anymore. You don't have shame attached to it. You almost like laugh about it because you've moved past it. So if I'm able to move you past this shameful belief that you're holding, that you're inadequate or there's something missing or you can't get something in your life, whether it's peace or love or happiness, I've already moved you to that state. We still need to do the healing work. We still need to remove the shame. We still need to remove the belief system. I can't just flip people into this new state of being, because then your soul wouldn't have learned anything. And we're here for soul growth. Our soul is here to learn. We're all fragments of the same energy. We're all fragments of the same consciousness. It's here to create these separate experiences so the soul can grow and evolve. But this new healing ability feels easier because we don't have to dive into the darkness in order to re-experience it, learn it, understand it, then release it. We don't need to worry about falling back into depression or feeling that pain or that shame again. We want to take that shame to the grave. We don't want to share it with anyone. It's too painful to even think about. You've probably even forgotten what it is. But moving you into this connected state, and I am calling this ability, this healing ability, connected healing. When you feel that connection to everything and everyone that you want in your life, then you feel that sense of worth deep within your subconscious. And it's so easy for you to let go of that shame. It's so easy for you to accept those painful parts of yourself, those things that you've been running from all of your life. And this healing is absolutely magical. So I've talked about the power of connection. I've talked about what connection is. I've talked about how I help people to feel more connected within themselves and with their outer world, with their physical reality. I also help people to connect to their non-physical reality. And this is what I do on my spiritual development course. I help people to connect to people that have passed away. If some people have a desire to open up their mediumship ability, some people are already able to do this. I help them strengthen that ability by connecting to other dimensions. And people that have passed, they do move to a slightly different dimension. It's more on the earth plane, and I can help people to develop their ability to communicate and connect in that way. I can help people to connect to multidimensional beings, ascended masters, angels, star beings, galactic beings. I can help people to connect to past lives, to different versions of themselves, because we do have parallel lives that exist at the same time as this reality. We have different dimensional versions of ourselves. Some are more evolved than us, some show us and mirror the healing work that we need to do in this lifetime. It all supports our soul growth. And the question that some people might ask is, how do I actually help people to become more connected? And this is through this non-physical work that I've been doing. There's one way in which we're always connected that we're not always aware of when we're having a 3D experience before we open up and let go of the mind and the body and we see how we're all connected. We tend to experience the world as separate from ourselves, and we don't realize that we're all connected in two different ways. We're all energetically connected and we're all consciously connected. We're all one consciousness. We're all one energy. And people that are on a spiritual journey or that have spiritual sensitivities, they normally identify themselves as an empath. So empathy is the ability to connect to other people's energy, and it's a way of feeling more connected to other people. And a lot of people struggle with their empathic abilities because other people's energies don't actually feel that nice. So an empath will tend to isolate themselves or protect themselves from other people's energy. But what you're actually doing is you're separating yourself from your own fear of other people and your own fear of other energies, because every negative experience and every shameful experience that you've had in your past will be holding an energetic memory within your body and within your mind and within your emotional state as well. So whenever you come across a person or you're having a conversation and that person is giving off a similar energy to something that you struggled with in the past, you're going to struggle with their energy. So when you do the healing work as well, it really helps you to open up your empathic state as well, where you can be around all different energies and you're no longer being triggered by all these different energies and by all these different memories from your past. And it will help us to deepen our connection with other people because we're no longer having to detach and protect ourselves. The other way as well is telepathy. And this is something that I've spoken about quite a lot and something that I've really opened up, especially in the last year, is my telepathic connection. Telepathy is your ability to connect consciously. You're able to connect to somebody else's consciousness. You're able to connect to universal consciousness. And this is something that I really struggled with in the same way that a lot of empaths struggle with other people's energy. I really struggled with my telepathic connection because people aren't always nice and people were intrusive. People were using that telepathic connection for personal gain, to find things out about me, to use things against me. And again, this is old fears that were coming up for me, where I had negative experiences with people in the past, where I was being controlled or gaslighted, or people were trying to find things out about me in order to overpower me. And this is a lot of my early telepathic experience. And this is something that I've done a lot of work on in the last year. And in doing so, I'm able to open up to a really true, authentic connection with many people. A lot of people aren't ready for telepathic connection because they hold too much shame. They don't want people to find things out about them. They're worried about the transparency of it. And telepathy doesn't necessarily work in that way. You know, if you're not ready to see things in other people or people aren't ready to share things, it's like energy. You know, you don't always understand that energy that you're receiving. So we're all energetically and telepathically connected. We always have an idea of what people are thinking about us. We always have an idea of people's energy. We just don't understand it. We don't trust it. And this is because of these feelings of separation and because we don't trust in ourselves, because all this shame will keep us away from our authentic self. It creates all these false belief systems about who we are, who other people are. People aren't always honest. People will use your vulnerabilities and your truth against you. So a lot of people were afraid. I mean, imagine if somebody could read your mind, how afraid you'd be about that. And I'd done so much healing work around my shame that I was just an open book, and I just opened my mind up to people that I was connecting with. And yeah, other people weren't matching that authentic state that I was in. So I did receive a lot of negativity. I've since learned how to protect my telepathic connection, how to manage it, how to disconnect as well, because that's something that is really difficult, to learn how to disconnect your empathic ability and disconnect your telepathic ability, because when it first opens up, it's always present. You're always connected, and we still need to find that balance where, yeah, it's great to be connected, but until you're ready to be fully connected to other people, we need to learn to manage and shut it down and feel in control of it, because a lot of shame is associated to the feeling of not being in control. And it's scary when we don't feel in control. It's scary when we don't trust in ourselves or trust in other people. And that, again, is something that I've done a lot of work on. So now I can be around other people's energies. I can connect to all different types of consciousness. Some people that I connect to aren't aware of it because they're not ready to be aware of it. So I can have conscious conversations and connections with people, which is all controlled by the higher self. It's all completely safe. It's all completely morally correct. But you've got to have that moral status in order to manage it, really. And the universe won't open you up to things until you're ready for that connection. Sometimes it will open you up to things in order to heal. So if you're opening up your sensitivities, then that's the universe saying to you that you're ready to heal those things. You're ready to heal those fears and let go of that stuff. And the more stuff that you let go of, the more you're able to connect to that one consciousness. And that is exactly how this healing works. This connection healing that I do is purely done because I'm able to connect to other people's energy, to other people's consciousness. Doesn't mean I'm inside people's heads. That's going to create a lot of fear. Again, it's shame. But it's all done through the highest energies, through the highest intentions. And the more pure your intentions become, the more spiritual abilities you're going to be gifted, because you can handle it. And that fear isn't blocking those abilities as well. A lot of the stuff that I do on my spiritual development course is helping people to trust, feel safe, and not be afraid of that sensitivity, of those abilities as well. You know, some people have had really scary experiences, especially when they were children and they were sensitive, and they've experienced things that the world wasn't ready for. You know, some people are born with these beautiful abilities, and sometimes the people in their family or that they surround themselves with don't have that same openness and authenticity. And that's why a lot of children will lose their spiritual abilities as they get older, as they start experiencing more fearful situations, more shame. And a lot of that work is unlocking all of that and bringing it back to when you were more authentic, when you were more in trust, when you were happier, more playful, more at peace, which is, like I say, a natural state. And as we go through life, we start detaching because life becomes difficult. And the spiritual journey is all about reconnecting back. And it's about connecting back to yourself as well. When you feel safe with who you are, you're really able to see your true power. You're able to see what makes you unique and different, because you're no longer trying to fit in and be like everybody else. And that's when the success happens. That's when your beautiful, authentic personality comes out and starts to shine, and people see you for who you are. And that's a really beautiful thing when that starts to happen. And through all of this work that I've been doing, I'm able to use that connection in order to change people's energy, change people's experience, change people's conscious state. And this is something that I teach my clients to do in my energy mastery course. And some of my clients, I'm working with energy, I'm teaching them to feel safe and identify and open up their sensitivity to energy and manage it properly and feel safe around different types of energy and heal any fear around different types of energy. And I'm starting to do that more with my more experienced clients now. The clients I've been working with longer, they're then starting to open up that telepathic connection, which is absolutely beautiful. It's an absolutely beautiful way of feeling connected with yourself and with other people. I'm going to end it there. I'm going to leave you with that. I will talk more about this in my future episodes. Feel free to reach out to me if you want to work with me, or if you've got any questions, or you want to share an experience that you've had. Maybe it resonates in some way and you want to talk to somebody about that experience that you've had. Feel free to reach out. And you can follow me on my social media accounts. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook under Sarah Creatrix, or you can contact me via my website, which is www.sarahcreatrix.com. So if you've made it this far into my episode, thank you for listening. I'm sending you so much love. Open your heart, open your consciousness, open up your energy in order to receive that love. You're going to experience it in quite a deep way if you let go of that fear. Just for a minute, just for a second. You could sit with it for 10 minutes, for half an hour, and really open yourself up to the love and the connection that I'm sending you right now. Thank you again for listening. This is Sarah Creatrix.